Or all the ones with the lowest prices. This hand's great. You know why it's great? Because our champion power enables our Reanimator deck. So our champion power here for 3 charges lets us draw and discard a card. So our champion power will bin this Eternal Seeker, and then a Mordrom's Gift will put the Eternal Seeker back into play on turn 4. Do I have a Blood Threshold in my hand? I do, so I can get a Sapphire with this. You want Cheerios? Do you want this? Where's your bowl? Get your bowl. Right there. There's a bowl. Baby Yeti. I have a baby Yeti. He's asking for Cheerios. This is a confused... It could be a confused Aegis player. People keep... So I have a Mono Ruby primer going up on the main Hex website here soon. And the first thing is like, yes, I know Angus is worse than he used to be. You should still be playing Angus. Am I runebinding this? I think I'm runebinding this. Just, like, not take a hit from it from the turn. Next turn, we'll loot with Mordrom's Gift. Well, this is Christmas come early. So, if we hadn't hit Aegilus here, I would wait to use my champion power to give us an extra card to hit Aegilus, but Aegilus gets to steal games against these aggressive decks, and there's a reason, in fact, we're going to board up to 4 Aegilus in this matchup. Aegilus is an 8/8 that says, you and other cards you control have Invincible. Invincible champions cannot be dealt damaged or be destroyed. So we're going to Mordrom's Gift, that 8/8 that makes us invincible, back into play next turn, and then our opponent's Ruby deck will likely never be able to take it off the table. Permafrost. Do this. That's true, Bob. Maybe, like, there's enough aggro that just, like, we board all of the Gargaliths and main deck all of the Aegiluses. I'd buy that for $1. Here's my 8/8. So this itself isn't invincible, but it's an 8/8, so Ruby has a hard time killing an 8/8. Oh no! Am I about to get triple fireballed? Don't know! Oh god! Why did I open my mouth? Why did I open my mouth? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, Hoagland thinks he's gonna win the game here, huh? Put his Aegilus into play, huh? Kill your Aegilus. Swamp butt karma, yep. Alright, so here's the question. Do I play this? I'm playing the Pentat Prism. Do I get a charge so I can work towards my champion power? Or do I get a wild threshold so I can play a Rotten Rancor if I draw them? I think we're supposed to get a charge. I agree, Bob. I think we're supposed to get a charge. The title on my frame here implies I want to get a charge. If you play any amount of limited, Sesso, I think the VIP is really worth it because, so the VIP costs $8 per month, and every week of the month that you're a VIP, you get a booster pack sent to your account, so you're basically, like, paying $8 for 4 packs, which is, like, the retail cost on packs. So, like, if you might occasionally be buying packs to play Limited anyways, I think VIP is very worth it, because in addition to that, you also get the ticket to play in the VIP tournaments at the end of every month. I think if you're not really interested in playing Limited, the VIP probably wouldn't be worth it for you. I'm gonna feel vindicated when we draw Rancor. Yeah, right, get out of here. Alright, I think I'm runebinding this one. I'm just gonna preserve my life total here. Oh! Oh, I transformed his thing! Holy crap! That was... Oh, the mistakes that have been made. Mordrom's gift, God bless. Alright, Aegilus. Aegilus, go! I choose you, Pikachu! Please don't die again! Please don't die again! Please don't die again, Aegilus! I'm not gonna gloat this time, just don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Oh... I'm not attacking with this because they could triple block and then fireball it. Can I interest you in my friend, the Eternal Seeker? So when Eternal Seeker comes into play, we pick a number, and then we void every card that costs that number. Yeah, and like, if this Gargalith had been another Aegilus, we'd lock this game up. We probably have this game... I should have played that. We probably have this game regardless, but like... We have a Gargalith in here, which is okay. And now that we have a Runebind, that should... Gargalith should lock it up. They call it the Krypton Hex. That's why I tend to just call it the discard pile in both games, but... In Hex, we formally call it the Crypt. Now I could actually attack with this because they can't fireball it because it's Spell Shield. Yeah, we just like put guys into play and beat them down. Or if you get a second Aegilus, they make each other indestructible, which means if your opponent doesn't have void removal or doesn't have a way to transform it, they just can't take it off the table. Alright, we've got a lot of cards for these aggressive matchups, so we want to slow them down. Into the unknown, slow. These cheap shots are fine. What else were we cutting in this matchup? No, this is not unique. It's just an incarnation. We're trimming Withering Gaze? God, I have board notes on this somewhere, right? I feel like we wrote board notes on this deck. Hex. Do we want to cut Gaze? They bring in Riposte post board. Oh, we were trimming some Heart's Whispers, right? Alright, I'm going to do the Smorgasbord trim. I'm going to do the Smorgasbord 2-1-1 here. Just like, zero commitment. We care about Riposte. This hand's a little slow, but it's got an Aegilus in the opener, so, like, I think it's fine. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top here. Yeah, we haven't lost a match yet today, you know. All right. With our powers combined, so I'm going to Arcane Focus here and dig for a non-slow shard. Our slow shard's fine too. Yep. All right. All right. Hip, hip. Hip, hip, cheerio, mate. We were 3-0 with lands. We haven't lost a games match since we started playing lands. Draxard is kind of like a... Think of him as a 5th Aegilus. He just, like, buys us time against these decks, and these decks have a hard time killing him. I really don't like the Ovo Reanimator deck. I'm gonna put another non-resource top deck. I'm gonna hold up Runebind here to minimize the amount of damage they can deal this turn. If they play like a Mama Yeti or a Matriarch, we can Runebind something. If they have a Riposte here, they don't. Sweet. Could get another 1-drop. Okay, that's fair. I like that. I like that comment. Let's see what we draw for the turn. We did not. Huh. Ten out of 10 supposed to Aegilus here. But, you know, I paused for a second because Eternal Seeker would get rid of their entire board. Alright, hope they don't have 3 cards to kill it. We can Theorize here, see what we find. We hit Rancor, so now we're looking for a Permafrost or a Ruby if they have a Riposte here. Sweet, we hit that too. I'm gonna bin this other Aegilus. So working towards just locking this up with the second Aegilus here. So we probably want to be conservative since I have these Runebinds and Heart's Whisper to hit another Shard next turn. So that way we can the following turn Rancor with Runebind up. Matriarch, sure. If we hit a non-slow shard here, we'll end the game. We hit a non-slow shard because I'm a professional. So Rotten Rancor is going to return this Aegilus to play and let it battle something here. And then both of our Aegiluses will make each other invincible in addition to making us invincible. And the Mono Ruby deck does not have a way to break up this lock. If they have a Riposte here, we have a Runebind for the Riposte. How about no? This Reanimator deck is so great. I like... Ooh, 12 on the ladder. Sweet. I like, the suggestion of... if I was playing this in the Bash this weekend, I would split the Gargalith and the Aegilus in the main deck like I have here. I think the ladder has enough decks where people are trying to be... play Lasgar's decks, basically, that 4 Aegilus in the main deck is super reasonable, I think. So I'm just gonna make that swap. So that way, game 1, we're basically hedged against the mono red and the ruby decks. Moving on up. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, hit that follow button. That doesn't cost you anything. If you're really enjoying the content and you want to help me produce more of this content, there's a couple different ways you can do that. First, consider subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. You'd also send a donation using the link down below for that. If you donate some amount of money, I'll actually play one of your deck lists on stream, assuming the deck list is reasonable. Feel free to message me ahead of time if you want to get my opinion on your deck list if it's something I will play. You also support my content by supporting my sponsors. HexPrimal.com would love to buy and sell Hex TCG cards with you. And if you use code Jeff5 on there, you'll save 5% on all of your orders from them. InkedGaming.com can help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats and mouse pads. You can get your own image on there or select from one of their wide selection of custom artwork that they have on their website to pick from. Remember, there aren't bonuses at the end of the season currently for being higher than 64. So at the end of every Hex season, the top 64 players on their constructed and limited ladder get invited to a 128-player $5,000 cash tournament, their Cosmic Crown Showdown. Soon, TM, hopefully before the end of the year, they're going to be implementing a system where you get extra prizes just for playing games on the ladder, so that'll be good once you hit Cosmic. What style of Jeff would you suggest for a new player to Standard, Jeff? I looked over the budget list, but I'm curious if maybe you have a different style of deck that we dip my feet into and learn more about the cards. If cost is a non-thing for you, I would recommend purchasing the Redlings deck. The Redlings deck has a lot of synergistic play to it, so it gives you a lot of room as a new player to minimize and maximize the decisions you're making every game, but the deck is also playing just some really powerful cards like Lasgar's Vengeance and Underworld Crusader, so you're still going to win a reasonable amount of games just based on the power level of the cards that you're playing. I think if you do want to enter with more of a budget consciousness in mind, Juju Gazabi said don't get Bombus. I actually like the Bombus deck because it's aggressive and it gets to draw cards. So if you're new to Hex, and the Redlings deck isn't that expensive coming from Magic if you have a Magic background, like the Redlings deck to buy it outright is like less than $100, I believe. So like compared to, you know, Magic decks, it's like on par with some of the cheaper decks in Magic standard format, and Redlings is definitely a tier 1 deck in the current Hex standard format. Yes, yeah, when set 8 drops, the Redlings will almost certainly exist in some way, shape, or form post-rotation. Bombus leaves, right? Is Bombus a set 3-4 champion, or was that a set 5-6? No, Bombus is set 5-6, because I remember looking at that when it was spoiled, so I was here already. So, playing against the Sapphire Diamond Sockets deck again, it looks like. This time we are playing the Reanimator deck, though, obviously. Seeker's real good in this matchup, I agree. I'm going to start by Arcane Focusing before we decide what threshold we want to get with this. Oh, was it set 4? Oh, it is set 4, you're right. I'm going to take this resource. So one of the things that I really like about this Reanimator deck is that we can reasonably just cast our cards in this deck. So, like, these Eternal Seekers, we can just, like, make 7 resource drops while being kind of controlling and, like, play our 7 drop on 7. There's a Sentry. Honestly, I wouldn't hate it if there was just a down, like, you can't have the power level constantly going up, right? I'm gonna Withering Gaze them here to see whether or not. Yeah, there's links to my deck list below the stream. My Sapphire Diamond control list is in there, Marnuk. So I'm gonna go ahead and Withering Gaze here and get kind of an educated opinion on what we wanna do with our stuff here. So they have Runebind, they have Transmogrifade, No, it hasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, the most recent champions, I feel like, are kind of a power level downtick, but I don't think that's strictly a bad thing. Man, this hand's pretty good. This matchup might be tough for us. I think I want to take... the Transmogrifade here. Although I guess the Runebind is more... yeah, I'm going to take the Runebind, actually. Because that can delay us. Because the Eternal Seeker, I get the trigger. I'm going to loot here, see what we get. It might be worth waiting on this. But we did hit a 2-drop, which is appealing. Perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat fam. Okay, so am I going to bin this, or am I binning a Shard at this point? I think I'm going to bin a Shard here, actually. Because I feel like I'm casting this at some time soon. Yeah, I'm going to bin a resource, actually, since I already have a fatty in the bin. The second Seeker? Yeah, I agree. Oh god, this is going to be great. So this makes their stuff cost 1. So they're going to play 2 1-drops here, basically. Because they had a bunch of 3-drops in their hand. So if they play a 1-drop and a 1-drop, we're going to get to Mordrom's Gift back the Seeker and void their entire board next turn. Please play 2 1-drops. Please play 2 1-drops. Please play... they're looking at the Seeker in our bin going, do I do it? Do I go for it? Do I make them have it? Make me have it, opponent. Make me have it. Come on. You know how lucky I am. I'm a professional lucker. Yeah, I agree, Klutz. I'm gonna board out the Aegiluses, actually. It's funny, we like went to 4 Aegilus and then like found a matchup where we want to board them out. So they got a trigger off this Animus, but I'm gonna get to Wrath their board and put a 5/5 into play. So their hand right now is Lapidary plus Transmogrifade. Ooh, and I should have just had faith. I should have just had faith and put the other Seeker in the bin, huh? Get by with a little help from my friend. I get high with a little help from my friends. Woo! Look at that! 4 resources win the game. Sign me up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Gargalith in. This match is a matchup where Alchemite's bad, right? Do I want Psychic Ascension? I feel like this is a Psychic Ascension matchup. Into the Unknown doesn't seem terrible either. I guess they have Dark Heart, so I want all the Into the Unknowns. I'll board in 1 Ascension. To ban that card. God bless you, Metronomy. God bless you. 4 cost, win the game. That's too good. Ban it. Please ban. Yep, that's true. So we'll bring in the Into the Unknowns. We went 1-3. We went 1-3 with Dead Guy Ale to start out this morning. Child on child violence. I think, so Jat, having, like, played those decks a little bit, I think those decks are just worse than the lands deck in its current form. I think I would rather play lands than play those Chalice decks, honestly. You're a little bit worse against combo, but I think it's fine overall. Alright, I gotta go break up some violence here. Guessing seems fine. It's got some card advantage. I'm pretty sure we're just a control deck in this matchup, right? Like, we have Into the Unknown, we've got some card advantage in Heart's Whisper. We could possibly Theorize to been a thing. And again, one of the biggest things you want to do if you're playing this Reanimator deck is you want to be conservative about using your champion power. Drawing Rotten Rancor early with Permafrost in our hand is actually quite good, because we're only able to play this card off of Permafrosting it or a few Primal Prisms. No, you can't have the deck box. Sorry, Dad's very mean. Theorize here. Okay, we did not hit a Fatty Boom Boom. I'm just gonna bid a Permafrost for now. Like 2 more resources here. These Heart's Whispers, remember they can Fate Weave a resource to the top of our deck, so they're a guaranteed resource if we need it. Are you my littlest turdlet? I love you, littlest turdlet. Do we need some Declan Cam? I think we need some Declan Cam. He's way cuter than me anyways. Get that sweet, sweet Declan angle. Alright, what are we doing here? So... I really don't want to just draw 2, because then we'll have to discard. Huh. I really don't want to bin a resource. Is the Transmogrifade redundant with... Yeah, a Grove Warden seems fine, Klutz. What do we want to bin here? I feel like it's Transmogrifade, Runebind, or Arcane Focus. It might just be Runebind. I think I'm going to bin the Runebind here. We're looking for a fatty. Grab the resource for now. I don't really think we need a Runebind. And again, we're holding our champion power until we have a fatty to discard. We already played 2 Theorizes, so that's our primary discard outlet. So now we want to save up and use this. You think your polar bear is funny? You want to show your polar bear to the internet? You love your polar bear? Yeah, you're a sweet little boy. Alright, and since we drew another Transmogrifade here, we'll just Transmog this. They might Runebind this, which is sweet. Because we have a resource for the turn. So because I didn't play the resource, they thought I was maybe going to miss a Shard here, which is great for us. Don't touch the keyboard, turd. So... our card's in stasis until we draw a Shard. Thankfully, this Heart's Whisper can guarantee we draw a Shard. Do not touch my keyboard or I'm gonna evict you. This is your eviction notice. Play a Dark Heart. Alright, don't have another Runebind. Oh, I guess I want to go to the end of turn before I Transmogrifade here. Ding. Heart's Whisper, we're to guarantee a resource draw with this. We don't have to discard anymore. And your 2 resources, alright, we're to guarantee a non-resource draw with this one. Withering Gaze is great, sign me up. So because I have 2 champion powers in the bank now, I might, Warp Steel and Grimskull. Alright, out you go. Evicted! So, Warp Steel, Grimskull. There are 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I'm going to hit this since I'm going to be able to use my champion power again next turn, guaranteed. Okay, that's interesting. Do I want to... That chittering bear is going to give me nightmares. Yeah, I'm just bidding the Seeker, right? So we can Rancor it back next turn. We'll, like, Rancor it back, fight 1 thing, void 2 others. Hopefully he plays out 1 or 2 of his things from his hand. Alright, they're smart, and they're playing around stuff. Oh, I want to play a resource first, just to, oh, we know both the cards in their hand, so I guess there really doesn't play around anything. So I'm going to Rancor, do this, fight this, void this. This costs 2. We're really not looking for anything again, so I'm just going to wait and make this discard next turn with a little bit more informed decision when I've drawn one more card. Like, if we draw Permafrost, for instance, I won't want to discard this Gargalith because I'll just be able to play it out on 8 resources. So I assume they're going to play something here. Sure, Grim Skull Tactician. They have the Berry Gem in that. That's bold. To leave the Berry Gem in against our deck. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. I missed that. 10 out of 10 missed that. They milled over 2 Permafrost, so probably want to loot away this thing. I think we're actually through all of our Permafrost now because of that. You know what I should have done there? I should have probably attacked and then runebound this. Am I going to runebind this guy? I think I am, so they can't get in damage. I'm going to transmog him. It gives them another 1-drops. That way if I get to do some runebind trickery with this, they have all 1-drops. Oh, that means I can't do runebind trickery. It destroys a constant. That's funny. Well, they had mill gems in those too, so we've got another Seeker in there if we get to it. How many gifts? Have we flipped over any gifts yet? Nope, so there's 4 gifts. We don't have Wild for Rotten Rancor. Huh. Yeah, I don't really have a good answer to that, so, you know, do your thing. It was a good draw for them. MC, sure. Alright, looking for... I can just re-Transmogrifade this if I find a way to trigger, yep, that, alright, well. Yep, actually just kills their entire board. Almost their entire board. I pick 1. Alright. Man, we're making all these decks look real great today. Every deck in Hex is great. They're all wonderful. Try whatever you want. I think this deck's very good. This is the deck our team worked on for the CCS. So, you know, as you will. That's fine, right? I'm just gonna Into the Unknown that and make sure. No more dark hearts for you. Yeah, every deck on the bottom half of the screen looks great today. I mean, the last card is interaction, right? Like, does it really matter? I guess our clock is slower that way, so that's fair. We just, like, have such an embarrassment of riches. Alright, it's a little afternoon here. I'm gonna go ahead and call it an afternoon. Before we, accidentally make a mistake and lose a match here today. So we won every match of Hex we played, we 3-0'd a Lands League, and then we played some really bad Dead Guy Ale deck of Legacy to kick off the morning, starting early. So, thank you everyone for watching, I do appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow morning with my normal Magic into Hex Thursday morning stream. Thanks everyone, and hopefully I'll see all of y'all bashing this weekend with me. Looking forward to it. This is first cash tournament.